What makes love truly worth living for? Is it wealth, luxury, or something far simpler? In the misty highlands of Vietnam, Ly and Huyen have found their answer. Despite juggling endless responsibilities, tending their garden, caring for little Maya, working odd jobs, and running a small business, their hearts remain full. Welcome to Life Single Review. Like and subscribe to witness love's purest form. The first light of dawn painted the highland sky in shades of amber and rose. Mist clung to the mountain peaks like delicate silk scarves, slowly lifting as the sun announced a new day. In their modest home nestled among terraced fields, Ly stirred awake before his alarm could sound. This was his ritual, rising before the world demanded his attention, stealing a few quiet moments to prepare for the day ahead. He moved silently through the small house, careful not to wake Huyen and Maya just yet. Outside, their garden awaited. The vegetables they'd planted together were thriving, leafy greens glistening with morning dew, tomato vines heavy with ripening fruit, herbs releasing their fragrance into the cool air. Ly checked each plant with the gentle touch of a devoted father, removing weeds, adjusting supports, whispering encouragement to his green children. This garden represented more than food. It symbolized their shared dreams taking root. Inside, Huyen emerged from the bedroom, her hair still tousled from sleep, but her eyes already focused on the day's tasks. She smiled, seeing Ly through the window, his silhouette framed by the golden morning light. Without words, they understood each other's rhythms. While he nurtured their garden, she would nurture their family. The kitchen came alive with the sounds of breakfast preparation, rice being washed, vegetables being chopped, the gentle hiss of oil in a hot pan. "Maya, sweetheart, time to wake up," Huyen called softly, her voice carrying the warmth of a mother's love. The little girl appeared moments later, rubbing her eyes, her school uniform already laid out the night before. At the breakfast table, their small family gathered. The meal was simple: steamed rice, stir-fried vegetables from their garden, a bit of preserved fish. But it tasted like happiness itself. Ly watched Maya eat, occasionally wiping sauce from her chin, asking about what she'd learned yesterday at school. To anyone observing, they were father and daughter, bound not by blood, but by something stronger: choice. He'd chosen to love this child as his own, and Maya had chosen to call him Ba, filling a void in both their hearts. "Ready for school, little one?" Ly asked, holding up her tiny backpack. Maya nodded enthusiastically, her ponytail bouncing. Huyen fastened the last button on her daughter's uniform, kissed her forehead, and handed Ly the lunch she'd packed with care. Their hands touched briefly in the exchange, a spark of connection that never dimmed, despite their busy lives. The motorbike journey to school was Maya's favorite part of morning. She wrapped her small arms around Ly's waist as they navigated the winding mountain roads. The scenery was breathtaking. Emerald rice paddies stretching toward the horizon, water buffalo grazing peacefully, farmers already bent over their crops, ethnic minority women in colorful traditional dress heading to market. Ly pointed out birds, taught Maya the names of plants, made up stories about the clouds. These weren't just rides to school. They were adventures, lessons in seeing beauty everywhere. At the school gate, he carefully adjusted her helmet, straightened her collar one last time, and reminded her to listen to her teacher. "Study hard, and I'll be here when school ends," he promised. Maya hugged him tightly before running to join her classmates, turning back twice to wave. Ly waved back both times, his heart full of protective love. Returning home, he found Huyen already preparing for her day at the market. Baskets of vegetables from their garden sat ready, along with local specialties she'd buy from neighbors to resell. Wild honey, dried mushrooms, hand-woven textiles. "Be careful," she told him, knowing he'd be heading to his manual labor job. "You too," he replied, pulling her close for a brief embrace. Their love didn't need grand gestures. It lived in these small moments of care and concern. The sun climbed higher, burning away the morning mist and revealing the full glory of the highland landscape. Dee arrived at a construction site where a new house was being built for a wealthier family from the city. His job was straightforward but demanding, carrying bags of cement, mixing mortar, hauling bricks, assisting the skilled workers. His muscles ached, sweat poured down his face, and dust settled into every crease of his skin. Yet he never complained. Each bag of cement he lifted represented food for Maya's lunchbox. Each brick he carried meant Huyen wouldn't have to worry about this month's expenses. Each hour of labor brought them closer to their dream, perhaps saving enough to expand their little house, maybe even buying the small plot of land adjacent to theirs. Dee worked with quiet dignity, the kind of strength that doesn't announce itself but simply endures. During his brief lunch break, sitting in the shade with other workers, Dee's thoughts drifted to Huyen. Was the market crowded today? Had she sold much? Was she staying hydrated in the heat? He pulled out his old mobile phone and sent her a simple text. Thinking of you. Hope sales are good. The gesture was small, but it carried the weight of his devotion. Meanwhile, at the bustling market, Huyen navigated the chaos with practiced ease. Her stall was modest, vegetables displayed on a worn cloth, baskets of local specialties arranged to catch buyers' eyes, prices written on scraps of cardboard. She called out to potential customers with a friendly voice, never pushy, but always welcoming. Fresh from the garden this morning, she announced. Organic vegetables grown with love. The market was more than commerce. It was community. Huyen chatted with regular customers, exchanged recipes with neighboring vendors, heard gossip and news from across the region. An elderly woman stopped to buy tomatoes and shared that her grandson was getting married. A young mother purchased herbs and confided her worries about her child's fever. Huyen listened to each person, offering encouragement, advice, compassion. She understood struggle intimately and never judged others' hardships. Sales were decent today, enough to cover immediate needs with a little left over for savings. Huyen carefully counted each bill, tucking money into a small pouch she kept close. Every dong mattered. She mentally calculated. Enough for Maya's school supplies, yes. Enough to replace Dee's worn work boots. Maybe next month. Enough for a small treat. Perhaps some fruit Maya loved. The mathematics of survival were complex, but Huyen had become an expert. When a vendor nearby offered to sell her some especially beautiful flowers at a good price, Huyen hesitated. They were lovely, bright and fragrant, but flowers weren't necessary, weren't practical. Then she thought of Dee's face when he'd see them on their simple table, and she made the purchase. Love required both practicality and poetry, and these flowers would be her poem to him today. Her phone buzzed. Dee's message appeared, and she smiled so widely that a passing customer asked what made her so happy. Just life, Huyen replied, typing back. I'm fine. Don't work too hard. See you tonight. The words were ordinary, but their subtext sang with affection. As afternoon shadows lengthened, both Dee and Huyen began their journeys home. Dee collected his day's wages, feeling the honest weight of money earned through sweat. On his way, he stopped at a small shop and bought a package of Maya's favorite candies, a tiny luxury that would make her eyes light up. He also grabbed a bottle of cooling herbal tea for Huyen, knowing she'd be exhausted from market hours. Huyen packed up her stall efficiently, exchanging goodbyes with fellow vendors. Her baskets were lighter now, most products sold, which meant success. She mentally reviewed everything she needed to do at home. Pick vegetables for dinner, prepare rice, tidy the house before Dee and Maya returned. Her body was tired, but her spirit remained strong. This life, though difficult, was hers by choice. A choice she made new every morning. Their paths home took them through the stunning landscape they'd come to call their own. Dee noticed a particularly beautiful sunset forming and wished Huyen were beside him to see it. Huyen passed children playing by a stream and thought how Maya would love to join them someday soon. Maybe this weekend, when work wasn't so pressing. Both of them carried not just the physical items in their hands, but the invisible weight of their love and responsibility. A burden that somehow felt lighter because they shared it. The time to reunite was approaching. Soon, Day would collect Maya from school, her chatter filling the ride home with innocent joy. Soon, Huyen would hear their motorbike approaching and feel her heart lift. Soon, their small family would be complete again under one roof, ready to transform the day's struggles into evening's peace. The sound of Day's motorbike approaching was the most beautiful music Huyen knew. She stepped outside their home just as he pulled up, Maya already waving excitedly from behind him. "Ma, Ma," the little girl called, using the Vietnamese word for mother. "I got a gold star today for my drawing." "That's wonderful, sweetheart." Huyen embraced her daughter, then met Day's eyes over Maya's head. No words were needed. His tired but content expression, her grateful smile, they communicated volumes in a glance. "How was your day?" they asked each other simultaneously, then laughed at the synchronicity that had become natural to them. "Tell us about your gold star while we cook dinner," Day suggested. And Maya launched into an enthusiastic description of her artwork, a family portrait showing 3 figures holding hands under a bright sun. Huyen's eyes glistened with emotion. This child, who'd known abandonment and hardship, now drew pictures of happiness. In their small kitchen, Day and Huyen moved like dancers who'd rehearsed their routine 1,000 times. He washed vegetables while she prepared the rice. She minced garlic while he heated the wok. They reached for ingredients without looking, their hands occasionally brushing, each touch a reminder that they weren't alone in this life anymore. Maya sat nearby, supposedly doing homework, but mostly watching her parents with obvious contentment. "The market was good today," Huyen shared, stirring the pot. "I sold almost everything. And look," she gestured to the flowers now brightening their table. "I thought they'd make our home pretty." Day's face softened. "They do, but it's already pretty because you're here." The words were simple, even cheesy, but Huyen's blush showed they hit their mark. "And I have something for our princess," he added, producing Maya's candies with theatrical flair. The little girls squealed with delight. Their dinner was humble: stir-fried vegetables, steamed fish, rice, and simple soup. But the conversation made it a feast. They talked about everything and nothing. Dee described a funny incident at the construction site. Huyen recounted an elderly customer's advice about growing better tomatoes. Maya contributed her own stories, mixing reality with childish imagination in ways that made her parents smile. "I'm tired," Huyen admitted after dinner, as Day washed dishes and she dried them. "But it's a good tired. Does that make sense?" "Perfect sense," Day replied. "It's the tired that comes from building something worthwhile." He paused, then added quietly, "I'm grateful every day that you and Maya are in my life. Sometimes I can't believe this is real, that I get to come home to you both." Huyen leaned her head on his shoulder briefly. "We're the lucky ones. You saved us, Day. You gave us a home when we had nothing. We saved each other," he corrected gently. "You gave me purpose, a reason to work hard, a family to love. Before you, I was just going through motions. Now everything means something." After putting Maya to bed together, sharing the duties of changing pajamas, brushing teeth, reading a story, they finally had their moment alone. Sitting outside on their small porch, looking at stars scattered across the dark highland sky, They held hands and simply existed together. The night was peaceful, filled with cricket songs and distant mountain winds. "Tomorrow we'll be busy again," Huyen noted. "The cycle continues." "Yes," Day agreed, "and I'll be grateful for every moment of it, as long as you're by my side." He squeezed her hand. "Do you ever wish for an easier life? More money, less work, comfort?" Huyen considered the question seriously. "Sometimes I wish we weren't so tired," she admitted. "Sometimes I wish I could buy Maya everything she wants. But this life, this family, I wouldn't trade it for anything. We have what matters most, each other." The stars witnessed their embrace. Two people who'd found wealth in love, riches in companionship, treasure in the simple act of facing each day together. Inside, Maya slept peacefully, secure in the knowledge that her family was whole. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight, in this moment, they had everything they needed. This is what true love looks like. Not grand romantic gestures or expensive gifts, but two people choosing each other through the mundane beauty of everyday life. Day and Huyền proved that happiness isn't found in wealth or ease, but in partnership, in shared burdens that become lighter when carried together, in the determination to build something meaningful from whatever materials life provides. Their days are long and physically demanding. Their resources are limited. Their future holds no guarantee of prosperity. Yet in their small highland home, surrounded by mountains and mist, they've created something invaluable. A family built on respect, devotion, and unwavering commitment to each other's well-being. Maya thrives not because she has everything, but because she has enough. Enough love, enough security, enough of her parents' presence and attention. The garden grows not from expensive fertilizers, but from patient, consistent care. Their relationship flourishes not despite their struggles, but perhaps because of them. Each challenge overcome together, strengthening their bond. This is Life's Single Review, reminding you that the richest life isn't measured in money, but in moments that matter. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of real love and resilience. Like this video if Day and Huyen's journey touched your heart. Comment below and share what family means to you. Until next time, remember, love isn't about finding someone to live with. It's about finding someone you can't imagine living without.